Hey, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Hall. Welcome to Studio B. Starting filming here now, so things will change in the channel. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with the channel. It's been going 5 years now, so things will change a little bit. It's going to be the same sort of content, don't worry, but the format's going to move around a bit, keep it fresh, keep it interesting, and keep bringing you guys some retro themed stuff that you're going to enjoy. So do stick with me. It's going to be fun. So I went to see Superman today with the kids and my mum. My mum sat through a lot of stuff with me when I was a kid. Lots of things like the Rock Lords movie and the original animated Transformers and all the old superhero movies and sci-fi of the 80s and 90s. So she came along to this and loved it. It was great fun for all of us. So that's nice that 3 generations all really enjoyed that. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised that James Gunn and co have nailed it. It's really good to see a proper DC movie that feels like the DC comics. Very silly, very fun, very exciting, a little bit scary in places, but really, really good fun. So I do recommend that. If you've been in two minds whether or not to check it out, please do check it out. It is really, really cool. So I have been watching some tapes, of course. I've got 2 tapes showing that I've been revisiting because I've been revisiting a lot of metal stuff and metal related things for the new VHS My Brain book, Heavy Metal Horrors, which is coming out. So I've revisited Hardware, speak properly, Andrew, Hardware on VHS, which has a cameo from Lemmy as well as Carl McCoy in there as well. And enjoyed it. Nice, dusty, grimy British sci-fi movie. We do dusty and grimy very well over here, I think. Also revisited Zone Troopers just because I felt like it. It's a really cool film. If you've not seen Zone Troopers, do check that out. It's like a cross between a war movie and a 50s sci-fi movie, but made by Charles Band, Empire Pictures type people. Really recommend that. So, I have watched a lot of stuff on streaming as well. I've been doing a lot of research for the book, as I say, and revisiting a lot of these movies. Like Black Roses. Black Roses surprised me. It was interesting to see how cool Black Roses actually is. I remember it being very silly. And it is silly, but it has some really cool ideas. So there is quite a good piece on Black Roses from 1988 in the new vhsatemybrain My Brain book, Heavy Metal Horrors. So do look out for that. That lands at the end of September. But as well as all that stuff, I have watched a lot of nonsense this week. So I've been going through things like Filmsy and Movie Zone and what else? The trashy horror movies app and things like that. I've downloaded a load of apps from Prime for the Fire TV and watched as much nonsense as I could. And I mean a lot of it. Here's what I've watched this week on streaming. Yeah, I told you there was a lot of junk there, but it was a lot of fun to watch, and there's found some gems in there as well. Some surprisingly good stuff that holds together well, even though it was made with a zero budget. But there will be some more SOV horror movies on there as well that I've got to revisit for the new book, and just because they're fun as well. I love SOV stuff. So anyway, this week I'm going to talk about a bunch of stories I found on the internet regarding VHS culture and retro movie culture. Also, we're going to go and check out some tapes on eBay, and we're going to go and take a look at some recommendations I have found this time over on the Internet Archive. This is Planet Hex. It's the only planet I have, and it's the only one that makes any sense to me at the moment. So come with me for another for another edition of me delving into retro stuff that really only a niche audience should watch. But thank you for being that niche audience. Let's go. So the first thing I've checked out this week has been this channel here. I've become quite fascinated by this particular channel on YouTube, Movie Trailer Madness. You know I love trailers, you know I love trailer compilations. This is right up my street. There's a load of stuff here to get lost in, this proper sort of rabbit hole to go down. And you've got like stuff like the Anaconda and American Pie ones, but you've got Slumber Party Massacre movie trailers, you've got Hunchback of Notre Dame, you've got I Know What You Did Last Summer, but then there's a load of compilations, like these 90s sci-fi movie trailers. There's one with Guyver. There's loads of themed ones around different eras. There's 80s ninja trailers. Yes. There's so much here that is just marvellous. There's also like recent stuff. There's also like B-movies. There's all kinds of themed ones. Do check this out, but be warned, you are going to lose hours on here. If you are a fan of weird old movies like myself, you are going to lose a lot of time on this channel. Okay, let's move on to the stuff that I'd found to talk about this week. The first one I'm going to bring up is an interesting one. It involves the police. Not the popular pop group of the 80s, but the law enforcement group. This is... The UK Police puts out a call for £120 million VHS tape archive digitisation pictures. That's really interesting because they would have a huge amount of VHS content from over the years, and that is going to take up space. It's going to degrade over time if it's not kept in decent conditions, like in heat-wise or with moisture and things like that. But if you are good at digitising VHS to a digital format, go and call police. You might be able to make some coin out of that. But they do have so much content that I can understand that needing to be digitized, needing to be stored in a different way on hard drives rather than taking up a huge amount of space, because those tapes, they build up. As collectors know, they build up. So that's one to look out for. That's not just on... this is datacenterdynamics.com, but this is a story that's all over the media this week. Right, next thing I found here is one of those that I will happily disagree with, but it interested me anyways. Watching VHS tapes in 2025 is an eye-opening experience. The summary of this tells you everything. Nostalgia can't win. Way too many sacrifices in picture quality. Technology has advanced too far. VHS has too many downsides compared to modern options. It's better to watch new versions of the same movie. It's better. See, it's great to get new editions of much-loved movies, but for people like myself, VHS is always going to have the magic. It's going to have that feel of being in the video store, going to buy them, going to rent them, and having that tactile item to hold and own. Unlike digital media, which you do not own. You just don't own it because, one day the digital media services that contain the digital media will go offline, and then you will no longer have access to that sort of thing. Even if you download it, there's time limits on them now, that sort of thing there. So physical media is still the way. Yeah, VHS is my bias, but Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, that still has a place. Not everyone wants streaming. I do stream a lot, as you've seen in the nonsense that I've watched this week. I stream a lot of stuff, but it's not yours. It's like a library, you borrow it. But yeah, so I will disagree with this, but you're welcome to go along and read this piece. It's a good piece. It's well looked at, well thought out, but I will disagree with it. But that's over on pocketlint.com. The next story I found, this is an interesting one, involving Pete Davidson, of all people. Not particularly big fan of Pete Davidson, but I know he collects tapes, and he's big on tapes. So after seeing Pete Davidson and his girlfriend's pregnancy announcement, fans are judging his VHS collection in the background. So I'm going to have a look at this. So we've got Pete Davidson there. Have we got any stills of his collection in the background? Where is this? There it is. Let's have a look. Okay, the image isn't coming up, but we've got 2 copies of Magnolia. Okay,
not organised alphabetically, chronological, or in genre or director, utter insanity. The X-Men cartoon, Terrifier VHS Special Edition, Can't Escape the Damn Titanic. If this is something that would be interesting to you, go check it out. That's on msn.com, but it has showed up on other sites, and it is over on Instagram as well. What do you think you would find there, and what would you judge him on having in the background there? So there's a piece here on slashfilm.com about the Little Mermaid's explicit banned 1990 VHS cover. It doesn't show it here, so I'm all right to just scroll down a bit, but you are, this tells the story of what happened with the interesting original version of the VHS cover to Disney's The Little Mermaid. If you know, you know. That's over on slashfilm.com. If you're not familiar with that story, go and familiarise yourself with it, because it's an interesting little tidbit of movie trivia. Over on Tallahassee.com. I'm jealous of this. I would love to go to this place. Now, bear in mind, this site sucks. This site is a pest with all the adverts coming up, but this is a cool story. So we've got here, I'll share the caption, Madeline Drew and Kevin Cole posing behind the Cap City Video Lounge counter. Now, I want to go to this. They're having a VHS Fest, Cap City Video Lounge. It's housed in a warehouse. I'm going to have to open this up in another tab and see what this is itself. So this is a place in town where people go to laugh, to cry, to care, and for magic. The door creaks. I see the pair behind the Magic of Tallahassee's only remaining movie rental store, Kevin Cole and Madeline Drew. So it's a rental store, and they hold movie nights, and that's quite marvellous. It reminds me of watching The Detectives, the movie that I know people don't have a particular love for, but I do, with Cillian Murphy and Lucy Liu, as it's set largely in and around a video store, and Cillian Murphy playing a video store guy who is a bit nuts, but that's fine because Lucy Liu's character is also nuts as well. This is so cool. It's a miniature cineplex, there's snacks, popcorn, but how can you not love that? So do go and check that out. That's on Tallahassee.com. Let's go have a look at Cap City in this new tab. Look at that. So Cap City Video Lounge is an independent video rental store and one-screen movie theatre in the heart of Tallahassee, and I need to go here. This looks amazing. True movie lovers' paradise, Cap City Video Lounge offers thousands of Blu-rays, DVDs, and yes, VHS cassettes to rent. A rotating selection of movies, books, and memorabilia to buy for your forever collection, plus snacks, drinks, the best damn popcorn at this side of the Mississippi River. I need to go here immediately. This looks so fun. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. That is so beautiful. Let's have a look at these posters around the top. You can judge a place by the posters. I always think this. So let's see what we've got around here. We've got Days Confused. What else have we got that I can make here? There's Night of the Living Dead there. There's The Hidden. Yeah, I'm sold. There's a Hidden poster. Back to the Future. Hellraiser. Of course. Pet Sematary. Breakfast Club. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah, that's a great place to be. Look at that. Just look at that. That is marvellous. And there it is. So I need to go to America immediately and explore. Let's all go hang out. Let's go hang out there. That sounds so fun. So do go check that out. That's at capcityvhsfest.com. The next one I found here, I'm in two minds about this. So this brutal, underrated body horror from the late 80s is the perfect candidate for a modern remake. It's Society. Please do not remake Society. Don't. Please do not do this. It's too mad. It's too insane. And it is very much of its time. So it's like 1989. Yeah, when it debuted in 1989. Didn't hit screens until 1992. But, oh my God, Society. How do you even describe Society? Directed by Brian Yuzna. It's a body horror movie and satire. It's a satirical body horror movie. That sums it up. There's the original cover for it. What do I say about Society? Come on. Just don't remake that. That's on Collider.com, but don't remake that. And here on the Metro is a case of clickbait. Terrifying cursed 80s horror film arrives on Amazon Prime Video. There's something about that era that just makes people think, oh my god, there was something wrong with these things. So that's, I think it's like a hangover from the Satanic Panic or something, but there is this, it still carries on, which interests me, but you can't say that about something that's not particularly horrific. This is Poltergeist. Poltergeist, it had the claims of being cursed because the cast, Heather O'Rourke passing away sadly, and the cast being ill and there being accidents and so on. But more than anything, it's just a damn fine film. There was a remake which was shite. I aggressively avoid the remake. But the original is just magic. It's a horror movie, but with that sort of Steven Spielberg Amblin sort of atmosphere going on. So it is frightening. I wouldn't say it's terrifying to the level of something like, The Exorcist or something really unsettling, but this is not frightening. It is gripping though. Poltergeist is gripping, and there is so much atmosphere. So now it's on Amazon Prime Video. Do go and revisit it. Not so fussed about anyone revisiting Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, and Poltergeist 3, neither of which achieved the heights of the first one. But if you do find yourself being drawn into that universe, by all means, just be warned, they're not brilliant compared to the original. Now here we have a piece about a sequel that never materialised. Sequel to this infamously gruesome 80s horror slasher got cancelled for a tragic reason. Now this is talking about the original intended sequel to Maniac. One of the most notorious slashers of the era, and it still has a lot of power even now. But this is a story about how the original sequel never got to the light of day, apart from a 7-minute promo which was made, which was just intended to secure funding to get the movie made, but it was never finished. But do go and have a look at this piece. This is an interesting article. This is also on Collider.com, and I do recommend you take a look at this if you have an interest in the era of slashers. So now we've got a piece over on pastemagazine.com. Paste. And this is a review of Video Heaven. And I need to see this. I know I've watched a lot of VHS documentaries, but I've not seen any of the recent ones that have come out. I need to do that. So after a while, a lot of these things do tend to have the same sort of vibe and the same sort of thing going on. But this is really, really cool. So do check this out. This is see what you think of the review here. Going through the what it's about, what's in it, and its take on the VHS era. That's over on pastemagazine.com, and the film is called Video Heaven, and I need to check this out. Hopefully I've seen that by the time I do the next Planet Hex video for you right here on this channel. So do subscribe and check out what I say about that. Please subscribe. Oh god, I did the YouTube thing, sorry. So we've also got here over on bloodydisgusting.com, good old Bloody Disgusting, we've got Friday, July the 18th, so it's yesterday at the time of filming this. I'm filming this on Saturday. These 9 new horror movies released this week. So let's see what is coming out at the moment in terms of movies. This is American releases, of course, so it will vary around the world, especially here. I do love this Toxic Avenger advert at the side. So we've got I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is sort of remake stroke reboot. It looks like it's got the same story, but it's got some of the old cast from the 90s version coming back in it as well. We've got Dark Nuns. Okay. From Korea. Wow. There's Megan 2.0. I was sort of meh about seeing that, and now I've seen the reviews, and it's like, I don't want to. I really like the first Megan. The first Megan was great. That was a really fun movie. But turning into kind of like a Mission Impossible superhero action movie for the sequel just seems a bit weird. I don't really get on with that. So we've got ZombieCon Volume 1. What else have we got here? Joseph Sims Dennett, The Banished. Film called The Banished. What else has come out? That looks creepy. Nice mask there. Bury Me When I'm Dead. I've heard of that. Let's see what else has come out here. Cloud. Okay, not heard of that one. This is over on bloodydisgusting.com, and there's trailers linked, so this is a really good one to check out. Yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's Jennifer Love Hewitt. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like the sort of like the Craft Legacy, where they had all these nods to the original, and it felt like a reboot because they was mirroring so much of it, and then they link it to the original, and it's like kind of, but what? Huh? I liked I Know What You Did Last Summer. Of course, I was in Woken. I've not heard of that one. I was in my teens when it came out, and I think it would have sucked if it didn't have such a decent cast in it. Mock Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar and the like, all you like, but that was a really, really good cast. Anyway, let's go and look at some tapes over on eBay and see what's been going on there. So it's been a while. It's been like maybe a month since I've done a check on eBay to see what's going on with X-Rental VHS Horror. So I've just done X-Rental VHS Horror, Best Match. So these aren't set by price or anything. I'm just curious to see what's going on here. First, straight away, I see a copy of Demon Win there. Interesting. Oh, it's Johnny Alucard. I've seen that guy before on here. Inseminoid. 2. Hide and Shriek. Freak Show. Don't see that one around much. No Way Back. Ooh, Regenerator. I've not seen that in a long time show up on eBay. That's very good. There's a preset set here that's got... I'm just enlarging this for you. I'm not going to open this up, but just check this out. There's it's got Lust in the Dust on it. Oh, I've gone through it anyway. It's got Lust in the Dust, which was a comedy western that had Divine in it from Pink Flamingos, and I used to see the trailer for it on a lot of tapes that I had from a certain era. Watched it once, and it's not like levels of Blazing Saddle levels of entertainment, but it's not a bad watch at all. That. What else have we got? Of Unknown Origin. Phantasm with the suckiest cover you can imagine. Child's Play 2, meh. Cocaine Wars. Anatomy. That was, Anatomy 2. That's the one I used to see all the time in Blockbuster, just before the Blockbusters shut down. They were selling everything off. It's like, look, we're selling all these things off. I'm like, yes, and they all look terrible. Why aren't you selling the decent things off? Oh, it's because you don't have any decent things, because you're Blockbuster. There's a nice edition of Nightbreed there. Oh, the Blob, the remake of the Blob. That was superb. That's not a bad price for that, for an X-Rental. From Beyond, £1.13 for From Beyond. That can't be right. I'm going to have a look at the sellers of the stuff and the pictures of that. That cannot be right for From Beyond, seriously. Hellhole, not seen that. That was Johnny Alucard again. That dude has some cool things. Trick or Treat, my precious Trick or Treat in a Palace Premiere, but not, it's a black one, not the gold one like mine. I've got the gold one. Time coded time at Scream 3. I sort of get why those are of interest. That's The Fly. Oh, just rewatched that Zone Troopers, as I mentioned in the intro. Just rewatched Zone Troopers. Great film. The 2 Dentist movies, Candyman 2, Voodoo, Mausoleum. What else we got? Come on, something leap out at me. How much is The Gate these days? $27.72 for The Gate. 20 quid for Puppet Master. The prices are going up again. They are going up, and I understand even when it's rubbish that's from low budget labels that wasn't good content. I can see why it's going up, because they are getting scarce, man. They are starting to really get scarce now. The re-release Suspiria, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the best Halloween movie. And if you disagree, fight me. Don't, because I'm crap at that. Is that a piece of bread? Keep my grave open. Let's have a look at that one. Oh, it's a gravestone. Sorry, you have to admit that looks like a slice of bread with a vampire coming out of it. We'll have a look at that. What have we got in this? That's not a bad set. Ooh, $13.97. Oh, the sell-through, largely sell-through. But they've got Screamers, Relic, Dark City, Existence, 12 Monkeys, and No Escape. Someone's put some thought into that batch. That's cool. Nicely done. Scared to Death. Oh, it's a Go video. That's not a high price for a Go video. Let's see what state that's in. And the Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, rental tape. Mwah. That'll be the last one I open up. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So this From Beyond caught my eye because it's a low price. £1.13 for that. Is it just the box? Doesn't look like it. But it has been photographed against someone's sandals. And they've got socks on with sandals. I'm glad they've got socks on them, to be honest. What am I talking about? Let's see what the description says here. May have some minor damage. Where is the description, eBay? Why do you keep moving around things here? From Beyond, VHS, big box. Fair enough. There's not much description. Let's see what else they've got on their page, see if there's anything else that's cheap that would be exciting. So, Sell Through Elm Street 3, Pulp Fiction, no. Oh, he's got the chance play. Howling 2. Oh, this is the person that's got Regenerator, fair enough. Prison's fun. Elm Street 2, that's the later release of Elm Street 2. Dead Man Walking with Rutger Hauer and Waddy, mate. Oh shit, that way. Look at these photos. Dude, what are you doing? I know you want to get through a lot, but show what you're selling before you... I don't know. Wow. Make sure you're posting clear photos of stuff. People just aren't going to buy it otherwise. Let's get that. It's offending my eyes. There's From Beyond. Let's have a look at this hellhole one. Sale $2.99. I'll leave the sale sticker on and then I'll try and sell it for more. It's alright, Johnny, I'm kidding. There's a nice looking tape. Nice looking tape. Bit bashed in the corner, but you've got to expect these things. That's not bad. Not bad at all. This one caught me. This is the one with the bread. The other side of madness begins. Depends which side you've toasted it on. A mad, sexually driven woman lives alone in a huge, desolate mansion. Anyone who enters the house meets a horrific death. This eerie tale follows a young hitchhiker who can't be bothered to put any stills on the back. So, not one I'm familiar with, but the Evil Bread sells it. I mean, why not? This Scared to Death caught my eye because Go Video is a really, really good label to find stuff on. This will be a simple cover, I know this, but this looks quite shifty, and I love how shifty that looks. Only 60 minutes. Melodrama with Bela Lugosi in it, so that dates it. But the Go Video label there, that's interesting for that. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Quick look at what else they've got on there. Okay, it's Budo Art of Killing, The Haunted, Excalibur, rude things. I will have to come off that before my channel gets taken down. Interesting things though. Interesting things for the connoisseur, for the art enthusiast. So Nightmare on Elm Street 3. This is a pretty common tape. However, this edition was the one that got me started on my journey. That is a thing of beauty to me. You know, he's got the coat on. Why has he got the coat on? Doesn't have it on in the movie. But this is Nightmare on Elm Street 3. This is my first Freddy movie, and this was the edition. This was the edition that I first saw, and that just makes me glow with nostalgia. This changed me. Seeing this movie, my God, changed me. It is in the wrong case though, so I hope that's listed in the listing there. £31.88, and that's not in a Warner Home Video case. That is in an RCA Columbia case. So I do hope that's listed, but that is not the proper case for it. But that is a thing of beauty. Always going to be nostalgic about Elm Street 3. That was just my favourite thing in the world for a long time. So Johnny Alley card again. This seller's got Demon Wind for £4.35 plus postage, £2.94. That's not bad. That's not bad. The stuff you don't see around too much. But the thing is, with Demon Wind, you can't even say it outside without someone making a fart joke. I mean, come on, you can't. That's a Vision 2020 video, but it's an box, but it's in an RCA Columbia tape. So again, looks like that's not the original case. Interesting tape though. This one caught my eye. This was over on that one with that we looked at earlier, and oh, that has got some wear on it. Not one you see around a lot. So 863 is not too bad for that, and postage of course, but you don't see that one around much. So that's not too bad if you are okay with the wear that is visible at the bottom of the case there. There it is. It's quite worn, but you know, each to their own. I've got all over worn tapes and damaged tapes. It just adds to the character for me. So over on the Internet Archive, I found 3 things to recommend you take a look at this week. There are millions of things on there that I want to show you. There's some amazing, weird rips of VHS tapes on there. But there are 3 items here that stuck out to me this week of something that you guys might like to check out. This is a VHS store sales demo, Horror Hot Properties, from 1987. And this is only 8 minutes long, but it's an HBO Canon home video VHS promo for horror film releases, including clips from Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, Martin, The Howling 2, The Evil Dead, Martin again, The Being, Blackula, The Babysitter, Extro, and The Hills Have Eyes 2. Not like the best bunch of movies, but it's so cool to see a promo. That's a really exciting thing to see. The second thing I found to recommend on the Internet Archive this week, check out this. This is a VHS rip of a Ginger Snaps work print. So this is an unfinished cut of Ginger Snaps. This is just a work print. It's got a time code on it. It's got some different things here and there in it. So if you are a fan of the movie Ginger Snaps, I mean, it's a solid film. The first one is anyway. Go onto the Internet Archive over on archive.org and look this up. Ginger Snaps work print VHS rip, and see a different take on an old favourite. And lastly this week, the thing I'm going to recommend is a beautiful thing that I found on the Internet Archive. It's Return of the Living Dead, the VHS version with the original theatrical audio. So the audio is different on this to some editions that you may have seen on streaming or on other physical media, on discs for example. This is the VHS version with the original theatrical audio cut on it. See if you can spot the difference. It took me a while. To be honest, but you can pick out the differences here. And come on, rewatching Return of the Living Dead is always a fun thing to do. Anyway, that's my recommendations for news stories, tapes to check out on eBay, and things to find out on the Internet Archive. And I'm Andrew Haunt. Look out for the latest in my VHS in My Brain books coming in September. There's a trailer after all this stuff. If you like this stuff, please do like and subscribe to Planet Hex. This is where I talk tapes and talk retro media, games, music, cartoons, comics, the writing life, and a bunch of other stuff that scratch the retro itch. If you do not already, please do like and subscribe, because it makes a big difference to me. It makes me go, oh, that's cool. So thank you to everyone that stuck by me for 5 years. I am figuring out how next to take the format of this channel, but this has been such a fun episode, so some of them may be like this going forward for a while. But if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see me do more of on the channel, please do let me know down in the comments below. But for now, thank you very much for watching this episode of Planet Hex.